It's actually, some in Zamfara State are actually telling the people that they should pay, you know, they've actually thrown them into some sort of panic, asking them that they should pay certain amount of money, I think 60 million naira or thereabouts, before they are able
Yes.
to farm. So, what do you think? Doesn't this put a lie to the fact that this administration has said these bandits or these criminals are not holding any territory in the country?
When they say that they are not holding any territory, the people believe such stories are people who are not knowledgeable about this whole insecurity, either in the north central or in the northeast or even in the northwest. Those who are saying bandits or Boko Haram do not hold any territory in Nigeria, most of them will not dare go near Birnin Gwari in Kaduna State. Those saying so will not move near the Tumbus, the islands of Lake Chad, where ISWAP for so long had established its headquarters. Those of them fooling themselves that these non-state actors do not control any part of Nigeria, do not know a certain place called Timbuktu Triangle that Boko Haram, that ISWAP has held on to for so long, even repelling ground offensive by the armaments to chase them out of the area. So how do you say they do not occupy any territory? Everyone knows that Tuji and his men have their camps. There are many bandit leaders in Zamfara, for example, and they all have their camps. People even know where those camps are. I have personally talked about some of the bandit camps and where they are located. Everyone knows that I go to do these interviews. I've interviewed repentant bandits before, interviewed bandits in Zamfara State. I know that they have their own camps. So saying they don't occupy any territory is a lie from the pit of hell. And I'm sure that even some of the people saying that know in their hearts that they are deceiving themselves. When Boko Haram surrenders, when Boko Haram men and women surrender, the question is, where were they before? Did they not come from their own strongholds? Because they surrender on their own. It's not as if we went to meet them in their camps and forced them to surrender. They left their camp. So the places where they were, who was in control of those places? It is impossible for terrorists to plan attacks if they don't have a base where they can sit down, coordinate attacks and all that. So let's forget about the lies that people tell without shame that Boko Haram or ISWAP or bandits do not control an inch of Nigeria. It's an absolutely stupid lie to tell, honestly, because it's extremely ridiculous to tell such bare-faced lies. You know? So what we are seeing now is evidence that even when bandits tell you that, oh, they will stop killing people. I've said it before that Truchi, for example, who said that he will stop killing our people, only wanted the Air Force to relent in his bombing campaign, because the Air Force had been bombing his men, bombing him. He had escaped a number of times. So when he offered to stop attacking people, he said that so that we will be lured into believing that he was ready for peace, and then we will stop bombing him. As we have seen now, 2G alone is imposing levies up and down in disrupting local government of Zamfara State. And each community pays a certain levy before they can have access to their farms, before they can even have peace in their communities, before they can rest their heads in their communities and go to bed. So they imposed a compensation levy of 20 million on Kanwa community, but they imposed 20 million on Jaya, 17 million on Moriki, 20 million on Kwagwami. 6 million on Kwagwami. Moriki, 20 million. Kwagwami, 6.5 million. And then Jaya, 17 million. So the people know that in the harvest season, they need to go to work. If you've worked for months planting, and at the time of harvest, bandits move in and say, before you can have access to your farm, you must pay so amount of money. People would rather pay such money so that they can have peace in their communities. They can access their farms so that they don't starve to death. In a lot of these communities, government presence is not even there, it's non-existent. So the people have to defend themselves, provide their own needs, and where the armed forces have not been able to put an end to the threats that terrorists like bandits like Turji constitute, the people have to now negotiate with the terrorists so that their lives, they will feel secure in their communities. But this is what is happening. I have said that we have to take the war against banditry more seriously. Now, we can see why. Because these guys are still terrorizing our people. They are still killing our people. I was reading about 19 people killed. 19 in Zamfara State this week. 19. And they're now saying, oh, you must pay a levy. If you don't pay a levy, then you are in trouble. In fact, Truji is known to have installed his own district heads in communities that are under his control. He imposed his own district heads on the people. And part of the responsibility of the district head is to coordinate collection of this kind of levies.